How is mediation used to de-escalate conflict? Remember, conflict de-escalation techniques are strategies used to reduce tension, prevent further violence, and move a conflict towards resolution. And they're very useful in mediation and also in everyday interpersonal disputes. Here are some key techniques one can use to de-escalate conflict in the mediation process. Active listening is one of the key techniques you can use to de-escalate conflict. Because in active listening, you're giving full attention, you're showing empathy, and you're reflecting what the other party is saying. It works because it helps all the parties feel like they've been heard and well understood, and which reduces the defensiveness in the mediation process. Another technique mediators can use to de-escalate conflict is staying calm and using neutral tones when you are speaking with parties. Because what you say as a mediator matters in the mediation process. When you are using judgmental tones, the party know they're aware of that. When you are aggressive, when you show aggression as a mediator, the party sees you. They read your own body language also. So as a mediator, you must stay calm and you must use a neutral tone while you are speaking to the party in order to de-escalate conflict. Especially in a mediation where emotions are high, tensions are high. How do you prevent further conflict escalation? Is by staying calm as a mediator and also using neutral tone. You control your voice, you control your facial expression and your body language as a mediator in order to de-escalate further conflict. Because calmness can influence others to mirror your composure and it helps in reducing escalation. Another techniques mediators can use to de-escalate conflict in the mediation is acknowledging emotions without judgment. What if you say things like this as a mediator? I can see that this is really upsetting you. This statement can validate a person's feeling without taking side. It shows that the party A or B might feel like, oh, this mediator really understand what I'm going through inside. Use statements like I instead of you. Maybe you can say, I feel concerned when instead of you are always, you know. Use I in the statement. Because using I reduces blame and makes communication less confrontational. You're using you is like you're trying to accuse the party. Remember, you're trying to de-escalate conflict. So you must find a very good techniques to help you de-escalate it more instead of escalating it further. You are in the midst of parties as a neutral third party called a mediator. And they came with emotions, high emotions, anger, frustrations in the mediation process. How do you calm them down in order for them to discuss with each other and have a resolution in the mediation process? If you don't handle it very well, you can even create further conflict escalation in the mediation process. So another technique mediators can use in de-escalating further conflict in mediation is finding common ground. identify areas of agreement, no matter even if it's very small. Because common ground builds connections and a foundation for cooperation. Redirect and pause the conversation. Take a break. Gently shift topics if things get too heated. Go for break sessions. Go for private sessions. So party can calm down and think forward. Because when you take break, you go for private sessions, it prevents emotional overload and give time to party to regain composure, because there is tense emotions in the mediation process. So another way mediators can reduce or de-escalate conflict in the mediation process, a mediator should ask open-ended questions. You could ask questions like, what to help this situation feel better for you? Because asking this kind of open-ended questions encourages dialogue and problem solving rather than argument. Because open-ended question open rooms for party to discuss more, speak up more. Another way mediators can use to de-escalate conflict in the mediation is maintaining respect for body language. Avoid pointing at parties. Avoid crossing your arms. Be open to parties. Because non-verbal clues heavily impacts how a message is being received by the other party. It allows space and prevent ongoing tensions. So a mediator should learn how to manage the tones and structure for more productive dialogue. So it's very important. There are other techniques also because no mediation is the same. So a mediator have to learn how to know when to navigate and facilitate the process. Read body languages. Read more. Explore more other de-escalation techniques that can help you and parties to move forward in the mediation process and help them to determine the outcome. Because you can be helping parties navigate, facilitate a mediation process, and in the process there is more of escalation of conflict instead of de-escalation, instead of reaching an agreement. So what will be the usefulness of that mediation if tensions are still high and parties are still fighting in the mediation process? They're not calm to discuss. So it's very important to know and to be able to understand and use these de-escalation techniques to help you further prevent conflict in the mediation process. You can explore others. You can also know what worked for you and know how to navigate and facilitate the mediation process as a mediator.